My name is Luz Maria Frias, and I serve as Director of the Human Rights and Equal Economic Opportunity Department for the City of St. Paul. Thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting our students. Everyone, please stand. Just remain standing. I thought I'd catch you before you said. Please rise for the posting of our colors and the national anthem.
Present. Hot.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Thank you. You may be seated. Prior to the creation of the EMS Academy, there was only one person of color who graduated as an EMT in an entire year in the entire state of Minnesota. Yes, you heard that right. One person the entire year in the entire state of Minnesota. Within the past 3 years, including tonight's graduates, we've graduated over 70 from low-income backgrounds. Thank you for helping us change the history of Minnesota and helping us reflect the diversity of Minnesota and the people that live in our communities. We are here today to celebrate the graduation of the 5th EMS Academy. The EMS Academy is an investment in our youth. We have provided them with career opportunities that many hadn't imagined or otherwise attained. The program's ability to change the lives of its participants has been recognized nationally by the U.S. Conference of Mayors, as well as the International Association of Firefighters and the Journal of Emergency Medical Services. I am honored to open these proceedings for our newest EMTs and first responders. Let me tell you, this academy is not an easy undertaking. To be here on stage today represents the culmination of 14 weeks of intensive and comprehensive training. And I know the family members in the audience know that because you've gone along that road with them as well. EMTs and first responders, you may be seated. Please give them a hand. We appreciate everyone being here. We have quite a bit of families, and we literally have a full house in store. We have a couple of open seats. If anybody wants to come down here and sit down, you're more than welcome. We especially just appreciate our elected officials when they're able to take time away from their busy schedules, and we have Ramsey County Commissioner Victoria Reinhardt here supporting us this evening. Please help me welcome Reverend Dwayne Gibbs, a St. Paul fire chaplain and graduate from the Firefighter Academy class of 1994. Reverend Gibbs, would you please lead us in a prayer of invocation?
I'm always told or asked to come and pray for this, and I guess they don't want to hear me say anything, but I always steal a few minutes just to say a few words. But I just want to thank Dave Page. He was my mentor when I was in paramedic school at Denver Hills. He told me about this dream probably over 15 years ago, and it's just amazing to see what's happening here. I want to thank the Chief, who's done an amazing job at standing behind the efforts of Dave Page, and also the St. Paul firefighters, who are some of the best men and women that I've ever encountered in my life today. And so I want to thank you guys. Let's pray here. Father, I thank you for the souls that are in this room. I thank you for putting your image in us, and I thank you for all of the characteristics and attributes that these young men and women have displayed, Lord, that they've used to endure this EMT school. And I thank you for all of the efforts, Lord, that have gone into this, Lord. It's a reflection of your love and your care for these people. Lord, we pray for your hand on them as they continue this journey. I pray that you would sustain them. I pray that you would keep them from evil and keep them from the evil one. And I pray, Lord, that they would know that this is just one step in a journey, Lord. And I pray that you would give them the persistence that they need. I pray that you would give them the ability to sacrifice when they need to. And I pray that you would give them the ability to love and forgive when they need to. And I thank you for their families, Lord, that are here supporting them. I pray that you would bless them and meet every need in this room, Lord. And I pray that today we would be a generation of people who serve the Creator instead of worshiping and serving the creation. And all of these things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Gibbs. As you may know, Mayor Chris Coleman introduced education as his #1 priority when he first took office over 6 years ago. He has received national acclaim, rightly earning him the title of Minnesota's Education Mayor. In fact, the EMS Academy is part of this education initiative. I had the pleasure of working on Mayor Coleman's staff for 3 years prior to be appointed to his cabinet as department director. When I think about Mayor Coleman's leadership style, there's a quote from Henry David Thoreau that comes to mind. The world is but a canvas to the imagination. Mayor Coleman encourages his directors and staff to think creatively about serving the people of St. Paul. Business as usual isn't good enough. It's about doing the best job to get the best results for our residents. It's this leadership style that helps us develop creative initiatives like the EMS Academy. It was with this criteria that Mayor Coleman chose Paul Williams, our deputy mayor. A proven leader and visionary himself, Deputy Mayor Williams joins in the mayor's commitment to education, community partnerships, and keeping St. Paul the most livable city in America. Deputy Mayor Williams is here this evening on behalf of Mayor Chris Coleman, who wasn't able to join us. Please help me welcome the Deputy Mayor of St. Paul, Paul Williams.
Thank you, Luz. Welcome, everyone. I want to say a warm welcome on behalf of Mayor Coleman to all of you tonight for taking time out to join us. I have three simple messages, actually, for you tonight. The first is to tell you how proud we are of the EMS Academy and of this effort. As Luz said, the mayor has made education a priority of his for quite some time, but this simple yet innovative concept of building skills, of diversifying our firefighting force, of bringing opportunity to young people in the community, in St. Paul communities, is really, it's very simple, yet it's very kind of profound and very innovative. It's done on a fairly low budget, but seems to have pretty dramatic results. To hear that, we had one graduate, I think you said, in previous years, and we're now on our 70th set of graduates, the vast majority of whom have stayed in the healthcare field and are building a significant pipeline for us, hopefully in the fire department. That's significant. This isn't just some kind of moral imperative. It's not a feel-good exercise. This is good for business. It's good business to invest in your community. It's good business to invest in cross-cultural skills that help you, in fact, provide more effective service. So this is a business imperative for the city of St. Paul. And we so much appreciate the work that Luz, Councilmember Carter, the folks at Inver Hills who came up with this idea. I got to tell you, it was easy to get behind it. And in talking with the mayor about it, he jumped at that opportunity in a heartbeat. So my first task is simply to tell you how proud we are of this program. My second task is to tell you how proud we are of all of you. And I'm going to steal a little bit from Councilmember Carter today, who stole my thoughts, actually, about this topic. But Councilmember Carter talked earlier today about the responsibility you have to yourselves, to each other, and to this city, and I couldn't agree more. Your families, your friends, the city, all of the partners who have invested in this program have invested in you, in fact. We expect great things from you. We expect a substantial return on our investment. And that's done very intentionally, but it's also done with great joy and a great deal of trust. So I take that with me tonight as a challenge to you, but also to make clear the expectation that we have as a community of all of you. Third, I just want to say thank you to the partners who've been supporters and partners in the EMS Academy. St. Paul Parks and Rec, our youth employment program, Inver Hills Community College, great partner in helping bring this to fruition. St. Paul Fire Department, Chief Butler has been a great supporter of this. Firefighters United for their role in making this a reality. The Otto Bremer Foundation for their support. Community Action of Ramsey and Hennepin. And finally, I had the honor earlier today of presenting a proclamation renaming Station 51 as Freedom House and naming this day as Freedom House Emergency Day. We have George McCrary with us, Walter Brown and Darnella Wilson, all three who came from Pittsburgh to help us honor this day. So please join me in welcoming them. So on behalf of Mayor Chris Coleman, I say thank you to all of you for what has been a great day. I know there's been a lot of different events, and we so much appreciate what you all brought to it. And again, congratulations to all of you as graduates.
Inver Hills Community College has been a phenomenal partner since the moment they joined us at the table. They've assisted us in every way possible, with faculty, staff, equipment, counselors for our graduates, and the list goes on. I can say with all honesty, we could not operate the EMS Academy without their partnership. Please help me in thanking Inver Hills Community College President Tim Wines and his incredible team of leaders. Perhaps one Inver Hills Community College, one of their most notable contributions is the role played by the EMS instructor, David Page. David's empathy and compassion for his students extends far beyond the classroom. He cares deeply about the students' health and welfare, ensuring that their needs are met so they can focus on their curriculum. His remarkable achievements were recognized last spring when David won the prestigious Minnesota State Colleges and Universities Educator of the Year Award, making him the first paramedic to receive the honor. We are so fortunate to have a man of his caliber dedicated to our program and our youth. I am pleased to introduce EMS instructor David Page.
Hi. How's it going tonight? I stand here today just humbled and honored to be able to share this moment with you. We need to do a little sound test. Can you please stomp your feet? All right, good. That's good. That's not going to be loud enough, though. So welcome. Thank you for coming. It's a great honor to be here, and I'm going to try and do this without breaking down. I said that this morning. I failed, so I cried. So I'm a crybaby. So there you go. This is, without a doubt, one of the best days of my career, and I keep saying that every time we have a graduation, but I really mean it. Today we celebrate the achievement of 20 incredible individuals. Yeah, I can't hear you. So I was more like it. I really want to blow the roof off of this place. I think that all of St. Paul needs to hear you. I want you to shout their names. Shout them now. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. I need everyone in this neighborhood to know that these are our graduates. And that everyone who wants to do this can do this if they choose to. We need to have more EMTs of diverse backgrounds. And I want all of those folks that are here to really kind of understand the uniqueness of this moment. It is a unique moment in our history, and I'll share with you why. We're here with some of the pioneers of our profession, some of the first paramedics ever in the U.S. These are true pioneers, and we also have in the audience some folks that pioneered here in Minnesota. So would Barisha please stand? Barisha Wilson Chamberlain. There you go. So Barisha is the first African-American female paramedic in the state of Minnesota. God bless you. She retired in 2006. And now, do you know how many paramedics work at Hennepin County who are African American? None. These pioneers have been technically and professionally impressive. Each and every one of them, never with enough peers to reflect the diversity in our community. I recently listened to a lecture by Dr. Jeff Andrade. He talked about Tupac Shakur's poem, The Rose That Grew Out of the Concrete. The rose that grew out of concrete. Dr. Andrade's lecture was titled, Note to Educators, Hope Required When Growing Roses Out of Concrete. Well, Barisha, Dwayne, Walt, George, Darnella, you are shining examples of what our profession should be. You give us all hope that we will see a more diverse workforce in EMS. Today we graduate 21 smart, resourceful, vibrant, it just went up by one, by the way, courageous and uncommonly wise young members of our community. These are such exponential improvements from the past. I want to thank Mayor Coleman, the Deputy Mayor, Chief Butler, everyone at the St. Paul Fire Department, Regions Hospital for giving medical direction to us, Gwen Peterson and Trenton at the Parks and Rec Department. So many people to name: Chris Hansen, Matt Rulin, Jake Dahlke, Terrence Steinberg, Dr. Burnett, Nikki Norton, Nella Kurdick, and all of the teaching assistants that came to help us. Especially Kathy Bjornson, Connie Kranz, who were in the classroom dealing with every one of the potential problems we faced. Everyone. These are the keys to our success. Alina, Brian LaCroix is here, Health East, Jeff Gross, FISDAP for donating their accounts. So many people involved in making this a success. It's just, I'm sure I'm leaving people out. To the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, you've completed 1,500 pages of reading, I hope. Or listen to the audiobook. 250 hours or in excess with ride-alongs in hospitals. You represent Tupac's poem. I thought I would read that poem to you. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's law is wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else ever cared. Today, this room full of family, friends, dignitaries, honored guests, we bear witness that you are the roses. And that we do care. Little did you know we're not done. This is a lifelong journey of service that you've chosen in this profession, and best of all, of teamwork. I hope the skills you've learned will lead to a wonderful career, whatever your dream or destination may be. I expect that you will return next week and continue your job search. I also expect that the people in the audience who can give them jobs will work with us to make sure they get those jobs. You have an open invitation to any of our Inver Hills classrooms. You have earned the right not only to be there, but to stand tall and proud and wear the patches that you're wearing and the shirts that you're wearing now. We want you to keep your skills and your knowledge razor sharp, no matter how long it takes for you to get that job, and we will get that job. Your community will look up to you, your families look up to you today. The next EMTs will look up to you tomorrow, and your instructors, especially me, look up to you right now. The future is in your hands. Thank you.
You know, we have so many good folks here today, so many folks who are committed to our youth and committed to making sure that we succeed as a program in the city of St. Paul with our community. And one of them is Ramsey County Commissioner Rafael Ortega, that I think you just came in. Can we acknowledge Commissioner Ortega? Thank you. We're fortunate to have two new EMTs to tell you in their own words about their experiences this winter. They might be a little nervous, so I need you to give them a really loud and warm welcome to the class representatives for this year, Jarena Harris and Na Yang.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, my instructors, the chairman, chief. 14 weeks it takes for us to walk through that door. The first day, I promise you, it's like every day. Everything seems normal, we all look the same. Deep down, we're all the same, right? Or at least how metaphorically they proclaim. But the thing is, when we walk in class, we all came from different backgrounds, different place, different time. But when Dave Page and Matt Rowland put us on the spot, time to put on a thinking cap, we all alike. We all become brothers and sisters, no matter what color, no matter how we look, how we act. We stand together tall, we believe how we are, and that's what EMTs, all my brothers and classmates right here and sisters, we all stand tall, we are proud of it today. And also to Freedom House, I thank you very much for what you've done in the past. That brings me to a new light, saying that y'all didn't do it for money, y'all didn't do it for fame. You guys did it out of what you guys believe is right and to save another life. I thank you very much for that. And I will turn it over to Drina Harris.
Good evening, everyone. Just bear with me, I'm a little emotional. Okay. The world that I come from is a lot different than this one. It's a place filled with pain, but scarce amount of love. A place where a lot of us find it hard to trust because we have been hurt without touch and witnessed far too much. Some of us have been to more funerals and burials than graduations, may have never been on a Disney World vacation, but attended many prison visitations. See, this world that we come from is nothing like what you see on TV. Unless it's a trauma channel, then unfortunately, most likely, we experienced it in 3D. As if that's not enough, we have so many other barriers. Some of us were parents before we became adults, already wrote us off as failures. And all we ever wanted was somebody to defend us, but they were so blinded by the outside, they refused to look within us. I must have something to offer this world. Then why do I feel so invisible? Why am I classified as a statistic when I'm clearly an individual? I have so much potential, but I feel hopeless. All I needed was one chance, and finally somebody noticed. Welcome to the EMS Academy. You have all been chosen. I had so many concerns, I questioned, how could greatness be my purpose? My instructors, Dave, Matt, and Kathy, made the answer simple, because Jarena, you deserve this. That is when I decided, if Dave put my success on a mountaintop, I was climbing. If Matt put my success in the center of an ocean, I was diving. And if Kathy put my success in a ring with Muhammad Ali, I was fighting. Some days were so hard where we all felt like quitting, but we sit before you today on the stage, so that goes to show that we didn't. To my classmates, we may look different, but we have grown into a family. Even through our diversity, I see so many similarities. Together we have created a beautiful blend. Even if we disagree, I can only see you as a friend, because for 14 weeks, we chased the same dream. And today we made it happen as certified EMTs. To my instructors and my family, I'm so thankful, but there are no words to express how. So instead, I will show you when I get out there and make you proud. Moral of the story is, based off my history, this life was never meant for me. My beginning may not have started out with once upon a time, but happily ever after is surely my ending. We may have been the overlooked, but now, at this moment, we are the looked to. So for that, I must say thank you.
Thank you, Jarena, and really an inspiration to us all. Thank you. The Firefighters United is comprised of African-American firefighters in the St. Paul Fire Department. And in fact, we have quite a number of them with us this evening. I'd like to acknowledge their presence here. If you want to raise your hand, I know you all in uniform. Thank you. Their role and commitment cannot be understated. They have served as mentors, as trainers, as coaches, as kind of just folks who are going to cheer on our youth and just really in it from the very start and committed to our youth throughout the entire program. We're doing something new this year with them regarding our program. They approached us and expressed an interest in awarding a scholarship to one of our graduates. And I'm in suspense as much as you are because I'm not sure what the outcome of this is. They've really held it close to their chest. We've got Tony Nunn here on behalf of Firefighters United.
I want to just, from Firefighters United Group, just to kind of welcome and thank Chief Butler, Matt, I'm not going to say last names, everybody knows who they are, Dave, Louis, Trent, just all those that came together just to help us make this opportunity happen. And it was the heart and the vision of the people that work with the EMS Academy. One thing that we wanted to do differently was to be a part of their continuing education. And that means that we've got to spend some time with them. We've got to put an investment, not only money behind them, you know, and also support them, because this is a hard task. All of us came through the same road that they've gone through, and now their career is getting ready to open up. You know, I think the first day that I came and talked to the graduates, I said, do you want to make $7.50 an hour, or do you want to make $20 an hour or more? And their eyes opened up. So this is the reality of you can either work at McDonald's or you can have a career that will lead a long way. When we had to kind of come together and choose a candidate, this was really tough because I really kind of put it out there that, you know, they could send me some money in the mail. But fortunately, I even tried to do it today, but I didn't seem to get any cash. So, but part of this scholarship means that, and they didn't know that we took them out, we had them out at the Fire Training Center. But what I was doing was I was critiquing each and every one because I wanted to see what kind of vision they had for education. You know, and I made it clear that Firefighters United wasn't giving them money to go to Macy's or the Mall of America and go crazy. The main part is that they use it for their education. Well, I asked this question, I said, well, how many of you want to be paramedics? I had 7 of you, right? A lot of people raised their hand for paramedics. I had some people that wanted to be nurses, some that are looking at possibly being firefighters. So this is what it's all about, is that sharing in their dream, sharing in what it is that they have a vision to do. And that's why I'm glad that all of you are here to share with them today. In choosing the candidate, and I'm gonna be quick because sometimes I can talk along, and I know they're real nervous. But it was tough because as we read through I had told them, I said, give me just your life history. And feeling their heart, they really poured out their heart, all those that applied for the scholarship. They showed their heart. They told us what it is and where they wanted to go. So further ado, Brother Curtis Williams, part of our Firefighters United, is going to come and say the name. And let's give this candidate a warm welcome.
First of all, I just want to congratulate all the candidates from working with you guys at Freedom House, Station 51 now, and out at the drill tower. I've seen a lot of positive attitudes, a sort of can-do spirit, and a real will to win. So, in all honesty, you all deserve this award. So, in saying that, I'm going to present the Firefighters United Certificate. In honor of outstanding performance, we gladly present this $500 Scholarship Award for Excellence in the January 2012 St. Paul Fire EMS Academy, this 16th day of April 2012, to Monica Alexis.
I'm just so happy. This means a lot to me. This means I could go to college this summer. Sorry. I just want to thank my mom. She's awesome. My aunts, my cousins for helping me babysit my 2 children. And to my boyfriend, who was supportive in every way. He was always there for me and never let me down. So, thank you.
Congratulations, Monica. Well deserved, well deserved. This year, I think it was back in January, we were talking in our department, and Terrence Steinberg from my department was excited. He had just had a conversation with David Page and had learned the story of the Freedom House. The Freedom House ambulance service that began as a community-based poverty reduction program more than 40 years ago. And it was set up to help employ and provide training to unemployed African-American men and women. And he says to me, you know, this is just like us. Why don't we bring them in for Black History Month? And I said, you know, why don't we bring them in for the EMS Academy graduation? Because that way we can all enjoy their journey, listen about their journey, and understand the significance. But more importantly, our students can listen to their journey and learn firsthand from them. So we're so blessed to have partnered with the various schools in the area, McAllister and Inver Hills, that helped bring this talent to Minnesota from Pittsburgh. And it just has been a real blessing to have them. There's more details about it in your program. If you don't have a program, we'll make sure that as you walk out that you do have a program in hand. But just a short blurb of that. Members of the Freedom House were just at the height of the civil rights era, being highly trained and pioneering the paramedic profession and the emergency medical assistance profession as well. This is back 40+ years ago when racial tension was there, when it was a challenge just to be able to be in the same room using the same facilities with the folks without having some type of angst and some type of tension. So imagine members of the Freedom House going to folks' homes and tending to them at the hour of need. If you can take your mind there, you can begin to imagine the various tension and scenarios that they went through. They blazed a trail for our youth, they blazed a trail for the profession, and set the model for the entire country to follow. We're blessed to have them here with us today, Darnella Wilson and Walter Brown.
Wow, thanks. I'm really honored that you guys asked us to come here. Back in 1975, when I worked at Freedom House and all the racial tension and everything, I didn't get a graduation. So I'm just so happy for you guys that you are I'm so happy. I did not get a graduation. I was thrust into the city of Pittsburgh. I was sent home because I had braids in my hair, and they told me, you got to go home because this is comparable to you having rollers, white girls having rollers in their hair. I was sent home because the mirror glasses were in style. We can't see your eyes, so you must be high. And so I really went through a lot. But like I tell people, I was born at Freedom House, but I was raised in the city of Pittsburgh. Freedom House, I was a dispatcher there. And I was curious about what Walt and those guys were doing, because I had to keep the records, and we had a 10 code. I had to keep the ambulances and stuff. I'm like, well, this is pretty amazing. Let me see what all these tubes and stuff are for. And he made me go on my first call at Freedom House, and well, that was another thing. But you guys, please go see the documentary. You gotta see the documentary to see how this came about, because it's pretty interesting. And to see how, once it evolved, how it was smashed and we were forgotten. And it's like, you know, until Mr. Gene Starzinski, wherever he is in here, put this documentary together, we would still be buried and dead if it had not been for Freedom House and the story that he told. So we're so grateful that you guys invited us here today. My thing for you guys is, and I was talking to the one little girl, don't you come and go through all this and don't go to be a paramedic before you become a registered nurse. Where you at, girl? Oh, yeah. You didn't think I was going to single you out. Don't you do that. Oh, no. I worked too hard for you to get to this position that you are graduating for today that I didn't get. So don't do that to me. Please don't do that to me. As a matter of fact, after Freedom House, I went on to become the first black female paramedic in the state of Pennsylvania back then. Back in 1975, it could have been the country. I don't have time to go through all that because I'm too busy. But as I traveled through the city of Pittsburgh for 35 years, I just retired with the city of Pittsburgh as a paramedic. And I'm also a registered nurse. I graduated in 1994 with my RN license. They helped me become a nurse. The paramedic helped me become a nurse. But what I would like to say to you guys, I'm just so in awe. I wrote all this stuff. I still don't know what to say. I'm just so in awe. In the city of Pittsburgh, I've never seen a graduating class of diverse students like this. I've never seen it. But what I do want to say is, now that you've come this far, the sky is the limit. Okay, you take this as a stepping stone. You have family here that have backed you this far. I'm sure they're going to keep backing you. So you go out there, you master your skills, you do your thing, you save lives like you're supposed to do, and that's what you've been trained for. I met Dave. Dave is a great person. And only a great person or a good person is going to teach you good things. So I know that you have been trained well, so I'm not even worried about that after talking to Dave and then talking to some of you guys. But what I do want to say to you is that, I had to have a tough skin back in 1975. And I've mellowed out now, but, racism is still alive and well. I'm sorry. I don't have anything to do with that. You treat people the way you want to be treated. Every time you go into someone's home, you treat people the way you want to be treated, and your outcome with that patient is always going to be okay. That's all I can say to you about that. But relax, take a deep breath from this point, and go for the ride of your life, because that's what's going to happen to you all when you all step in the back of that ambulance. You're about to go for the ride of your lives. And it's not going to be a job. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be a great adventure. You're going to have highs. You're going to have lows. But with your training, you're going to be able to deal with it. You know, life is life, and you just got to take that ride, you know. And another thing I wanted to say is, I know we paved the way for all this, but I just want to give you an example of a patient that we always had to pick up. His name was Stanley Kennedy. And he was one of the most unruliest patients. The guys would say, oh, well, you know, we're not going on nowhere. You go. It was a black guy, of course. Okay, we go there. But Stanley, he was sick. He was a sick person. But Stanley loved to sing My Girl. And I would get in the back of the ambulance and sing My Girl, and he was the best patient. So find out what that patient likes. You know what I mean? Will make your job a whole lot easier. And unfortunately, Stanley's gone. I don't get to sing My Girl anymore, but I'm gone too, so. But just do that, all that you can for a patient while you're there. And when it's time for you to stick to your guns, you stick to your guns. And, you know, you have the knowledge now to save a life. And you know what? You're going to go into a lot of life-saving things. You may go into a lot of things that all you have done will not be enough. And that's up to God. There's nothing you can do, nothing you can change. As long as you've done what you've been taught, and you went in there with an open mind and an open heart, and you've done all that you can do for that patient, you have to remember death is a part of life. And there's nothing we can do about that. As a matter of fact, we all have to do that too. So when you go in, you go in with an open heart, and you go in with an open mind. You put everything aside as far as any like patients getting on your nerves or whatever. You just do what you need to do to get that patient to the hospital so that patient can be with their family another day. That's your job. And I don't know what else to say other than, you know, let me be the first to welcome you to Freedom House.
Too many Cavassiers. My name is Walter Brown. I started with Freedom House about 47 years ago, you know, so I was the assistant director of operations. I really don't know why anybody had me come up here and talk to anybody, because I don't give speeches. I don't write speeches. I'm not a politician. I'm not a dignitary. I just talk to people. And I have a tendency to offend people sometimes, but it won't be anybody in the audience. It'd probably be the class, because that's who I want to talk to, you know. I'm glad that everybody got through with all the acknowledgments, so I don't have to go through that routine, thanking this person, that person, that person. Everybody's been thanked enough, I think. So I won't do that either, but I do want to acknowledge two people. And this is usually out of my realm. David Page, I just met a couple days ago. I've heard about him, talked to him on the phone and all that, but he's a very sincere guy, you know, and I respect what he does, you know. And he really got a real point with me when he quoted Tupac, you know. But I really respect what he's doing. I've paid close attention since I come up here. You know, we've been through so much BS during our time, you know. It's been rather overwhelming coming up here, you know, to St. Paul. You know, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm rather overwhelmed. I can say that here. The word won't get out in Pittsburgh, you know. I have an image to protect, you know, so. But I really appreciate everything that has been done up here in St. Paul, and I respect what you're doing. The class is very fortunate. I see they got a lot of support. I'm just looking out here in the audience, and all I'm asking the audience to do is keep supporting your people, because they're going to need it, you know. It's not an easy road which they're about to enter. It's a very difficult road, but they might make it, you know, so. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Starzinski, the man who made the documentary about Freedom House. Freedom House was basically buried and dead. You know, we've been what you call resurrected. It was a typical situation. We all know about Black history. When I was going to school, I think we got 2 paragraphs all the time I went to school, and that was about George Washington Carver and the damn peanut, you know. Anything else you had to learn on your own. But hey, it's the truth, you know. But we've been sort of resurrected. I had basically vanished off the face of the earth. Couldn't nobody find me, but that was my intentions anyhow. And at that time, but Starzinski's documentary, Mr. Page's interest is sort of resurrecting all this, and I don't know what to say, you know what I mean? I just hope that people learn the story. And there's a lot of other stories like our stories that need to be told, you know. We're not the only story. Everybody talks about racism, but one thing people have to understand, racism affects everybody. I don't care if you're white, black, blue, green, red, it affects everybody. And hey, you know, it's just a part of the game, you know. Just learn how to play the game, you know. We'll be all right, you know. It'll go away eventually. I won't be here, but it'll go away, you know. All I'm striving to do is to become the oldest living paramedic in America, you know what I mean? Ex-paramedic, excuse me. What I want to say to the class, how you guys doing? I'm not doing too good, but I'm here. Look, I know all of you, a lot of you went through a certain amount of problems and things, and I have a lot of empathy for that because I didn't exactly come up in a nice situation myself, you know. I'm the oldest of 10 kids, no dad, et cetera. Even though I used the name Junior, I don't know who in the hell Senior is. It was just on my birth certificate, that's all, you know. If he walked in here right now, I would not know, you know. But the hell with him, you know, I didn't need him, you know. I had my mother, that's my daddy, you know. And I don't have no problem with that. But anyhow, you're going to encounter problems. I know, I mean, people got problems with their living situation. People got problems about eating. People got problems about your kids. You're gonna always have problems. Not just now, either later on in life, but you got to deal with them. Because you're playing the hardest game there is, the game of life. And you have to play that game your whole life. And it's up to you what you get out of it. I mean, I don't know what reasons that a lot of you came and entered this particular program. Some of you might have put a $7.50 an hour or whatever you got. But that's a lot of money. We made $42 a week. I made $42 a week plus, how much car fare? $3 for bus fare. And hey, add that up. But anyhow, whatever reasons that you entered this particular program is your own reason. But I want to congratulate all of you for completing, which is just the first step. It's up to, I don't know what you want to do now. You know, only you know. But you have a wide range of areas that you could go into. Reverend Gibbs just gave a prayer over you, you know. I come from a place where if you want your prayers answered, you got to get up off of your knees and hustle. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the praying is not going, I'm not against praying, don't get me wrong, but you got to do something about it. And some of you going to make it, and some of you are not going to make it. I'm not going to point out who, because I don't know any of you, you know. But I hope all of you make it. You cannot sit back and wait for someone to do anything for you. You're the ones got to make it happen. If you sit back, wait for somebody to do something for you, nothing's going to happen. She stood up. I guess I got to get the hell up out of here. But I'll talk to some of you a little later. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley. I have a gift to present to our instructor, Dave Page. In the card, there's no money, just a gift card.
Hi, I'm Kwanzaa Reed, and I have a gift to offer to give to Jake, assistant.
Hi, I'm India, and I want to present a gift to Connie, our emotional help here.
I'm just piggybacking on this gift too.
Guys, seriously.
Hi, I have a gift for Kathy, our time resource person, who is always late. No, it's
And the last gift is for Matt, our other paramedic that helps us and yells at us.
You would tell.
Don't choke me with balloons. What y'all
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. You can't script this, really, really. You can't script this. And now let us turn our attention to the EMTs. You've all come a long way since January. You should know that we are very proud of you for your achievement and for your efforts. But remember, while one phase of training is complete, your journey does not end here. There are many more paths for you to take, from becoming a St. Paul firefighter to a paramedic, or an emergency physician, or a nurse. My hope is that you will continue to build on the foundation we established this year and to use it throughout your promising careers. My charge to you as you begin your public service is simple. Make a difference in your community. Will the EMS Academy class of 2012 prepare for the presentation ceremony? I will read your names as you receive your certificates. Ariane Abrams. Anders Ogley. Latoya Coleman. India Edwards. Ashley Evans. Kevin Felder. Jarena Harris. Andrew Huberty. Mónica Illescas. Leanne Jones. Brong Kang. Rafael Ortega Castrillón. Amelia Ramos. Kwanzaa Reed. Tia Tenay. Julian Phipps. Sarah Walker. Kua Zhong. Yang Zhong. Na Yang. Nancy Yang. Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for our graduates. One of our ardent supporters of the EMS Academy has been none other than St. Paul Fire Chief Tim Butler. He has a few remarks of his own to share with you and our class graduates. Please help me give him a warm welcome. St. Paul Fire Chief Tim Butler.
Good evening, everyone, and class of 2012, congratulations. I'm going to keep my remarks very short tonight. I mainly wanted to thank you for all your hard work through the class, through the painting of Station 51, Freedom House 51. Some of us still are trying to get paint off various parts of our body, including some members of the audience out there, so thank you for your support. This is not something that can be done easily, and it requires everyone in this room to make this program a success. I thank you for your hard work, the instructors from Inver Hills and from St. Paul Fire and from all over the community, and especially for the family members for your work to provide transportation, daycare, meals, support, financing, and just the cheerleading section for these great candidates. So thank you, everyone, for your part to play in this success story here. The emergency medical technician oath has been around for many years. An oath is a sacred promise taken before God and your neighbors. Two important reasons for that. Only God or your Creator can tell what your intentions are, what your motivations are, and what your heart says. Everybody else in the community, the people that you are going to take this oath in front of, judge you by your actions, your compassion, your technical skills, your competency. So inside in what's going on in here and outside your actions to the community are the two reasons we ask you to take an oath before God and your fellow person. So if the class would please stand and prepare to take the oath. I want you to raise your right hand, the one without paint on it.
That's kind of hard.
This is your final test. There's some words in here I don't even know. So. Be it pledged as an emergency medical technician. I will honor the physical and judicial laws of God and man. I will honor the physical and judicial laws of God and man. I will follow that regimen, which according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefits of patients and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. Very good. nor shall I suggest any such counsel. Into whatever homes I enter. I will go into them for the benefit of only the sick and injured, never revealing what I see or hear in the lives of men unless required by law. I shall also share my medical knowledge with those who may benefit from what I have learned. I will serve unselfishly and continuously in order to help make a better world for all mankind. While I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art, respected by all, in all times. Should I trespass or violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. So help me God. Ladies and gentlemen, the spring class of 2012